Once upon a time, in a small coastal village named Noorabad, life revolved around the sea. The village, nestled between lush green hills and the vast blue ocean, depended on its fishermen. The boats would leave the shore at dawn, their nets cast far into the water, and by dusk, they would return with the catch of the day. The villagers relied on the sea not just for food, but for stories of adventure and survival, told by the brave fishermen who had faced its wrath. Among these villagers was a boy named Arman. Arman had grown up hearing tales of his father, Shahbaz, who was the finest fisherman Noorabad had ever known. His father's bravery, his conquests in the roughest of storms, and his bountiful catches were legends. But sadly, Shahbaz had passed away when Arman was just a toddler, leaving behind a boat and a dream. Arman knew little about the sea, yet he felt a deep connection to it, one that called him to follow in his father's footsteps. At 14, Arman was eager but inexperienced. The villagers, while kind, doubted him. "He's just a boy. Shahbaz's boat will never sail again," they would whisper. These words stung, but they also ignited a fire in Arman's heart. Determined to honor his father's legacy, Arman set out to learn the art of fishing. Every morning before the sun even peeked over the horizon, he joined the fishermen, eager to prove himself. But the sea, as it often is with beginners, was unforgiving. On his first day, Arman found himself struggling to pull in the nets, which were heavy with fish. His small hand slipped and the net fell back into the sea. The other fishermen watched him, some shaking their heads while others snickered. "The boy can't even hold a net properly," one of them teased. The sting of failure was sharp, but Arman wasn't one to give up. The next day, Arman tried his hand at rowing a boat. His hands shook as he gripped the oars, but the moment he pushed them into the water, they slipped from his grasp. He fell into the cold sea, soaked to the bone. When he climbed back into the boat, his body was shivering and his pride was bruised. Yet, he did not give up. His spirit remained unbroken. As Arman sat by his father's old boat one evening, lost in thought, an old man approached him. It was Baba Noor, the village's oldest and most respected fisherman. His face was lined with age, and his hands were rough with years of working the sea, but his eyes held wisdom and kindness. "I've been watching you, Arman," Baba Noor said. "Your father would be proud of your determination. But fishing is not just about strength. It's about understanding the sea, respecting it, and working with it, not against it. If you want to learn, I'll teach you." Arman's heart soared. "I'll do anything, Baba Noor." "I want to learn," he exclaimed. Baba Noor began to teach Arman, taking him under his wing. Each morning, they would meet before dawn and walk to the shore. Baba Noor patiently showed him how to mend fishing nets. "A strong net is a fisherman's best tool," he would say. They worked together, side by side, mending frayed edges and ensuring the nets were ready for the next day's catch. During the afternoons, when the sun was high, Baba Noor would sit under a large tree with Arman and share his knowledge. He taught him how to read the clouds and how the direction of the wind affected the sea. "The sea speaks to us," Baba Noor would say. "The birds in the sky, the waves on the shore, they all tell a story. If you learn to listen, you'll never be lost." Arman hung on every word. He learned how to observe the world around him, how to see a storm coming from a change in the wind, or how the flock of birds might guide him to a school of fish. He came to understand that fishing wasn't just a skill. It was an art, a relationship with the sea that required patience, respect, and an understanding of nature. Baba Noor often said, "Fishing is like life. You need patience, observation, and adaptability. And above all, you must respect the sea. It gives us life, but it can also take it away." One fateful afternoon, a heavy storm appeared on the horizon. The sky grew dark and the winds howled, signaling the arrival of a fierce squall. Many of the village fishermen were still out at sea, and the villagers began to panic. Arman could see the fear in their eyes as they gathered on the shore, watching the storm approach. They feared for their loved ones out on the water. Arman knew he had to act. He turned to Baba Noor, who nodded in understanding. Without hesitation, Arman led a group of young men to the shore to secure the boats. As the storm intensified, Arman noticed one boat struggling to return. Its sails flapped wildly in the wind, and the waves crashed against it mercilessly. Without thinking, Arman jumped into his father's boat. With his newfound skills fresh in his mind, he rowed with all his might toward the struggling boat. The waves were monstrous, but Arman steered with calm and precision, using the techniques Baba Noor had taught him. He navigated the boat through the storm, his heart racing but his hands steady. When he reached the other boat, he helped the fishermen aboard, guiding them back to shore. When the storm passed and the skies cleared, the villagers gathered around Arman. They couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. His bravery had saved not just the fishermen, but their livelihoods as well. Baba Noor placed a hand on Arman's shoulder and smiled. "Today, you've proven yourself. You're no longer just Shabaz's son. You are a fisherman now, Arman." The villagers, who had once doubted him, now looked at him with pride and admiration. Arman had finally earned their respect. But Arman didn't stop there. Inspired by Baba Noor's teachings, he began mentoring the younger boys in the village. He taught them how to read the sea, how to mend nets, and how to respect the ocean's power. Under his guidance, the village flourished. Arman and the fishermen worked together, sharing their knowledge and resources. The village became known for its sustainable fishing practices, ensuring that the sea remained abundant for future generations. Years later, Arman stood at the edge of the shore, watching the younger generation set out to sea. He felt a deep sense of satisfaction. Not only had he honored his father's legacy, but he had also created his own. When asked about his journey, Arman would smile and say, "The sea taught me everything I needed to know, not just about fishing, but about life. Patience, perseverance, and respect. These are the keys to turning any dream into reality." Through determination, patience, and a willingness to learn, even the smallest of dreams can grow into a legacy that inspires generations to come.